Let's begin with a small question. What exactly is time travel? We've all heard about it, moving to the past or jumping into the future. Just think about the fun we could have. You could go back in time and mess with your most hated teacher when he was a kid. Maybe give him a taste of his own medicine. Or how about sneaking into the future, seeing what's coming, and then using that knowledge to crush it in the present? Sounds like a perfect business plan, right? You could prank your friends in the most epic ways, pass every exam without even studying, and plan unforgettable surprises for your loved ones. And here's the emotional side. You could visit your childhood again, relive your best memories, and maybe even see someone you miss deeply. If time travel became something only you could do, life would feel like pure magic. You'd basically have the power to rewrite your world. But let's be real, building something that can bend time isn't going to be cheap or easy. It would likely need massive funding, advanced science, and some of the brightest minds on the planet. We're talking years of development, complex physics, and probably technology that hasn't even been invented yet. So naturally, like with any big invention, time travel might not be for everyone. At the same time, not only for you, at least not in the beginning. Remember how smartphones, electric cars, and even the internet started off only available to a limited group? The same thing could happen here. Time travel might begin as a tool for a select few, maybe scientists, researchers, or even the military. The idea of training to become a time traveler could become a real career. Just like how we have astronauts or pilots today, we could have people specifically trained to operate time-traveling machines. Schools or programs might pop up offering degrees in time physics or temporal navigation. Sounds wild, right? But what if nepotism sneaks in? What if the powerful and well-connected start reserving time travel for their own benefit? It's hard to imagine a world where even time becomes a privilege. Just like everything else, there's a chance time travel could be gatekept by influence, money, or politics. Still, in the early days, it might make more sense to use time travel for general, helpful purposes. Imagine someone going to the future and seeing jaw-dropping tech that we haven't even dreamed of yet. Kind of like how people in the 1900s couldn't imagine smartphones or electric cars. A time traveler could come back with ideas for life-changing inventions, futuristic medicine, or advanced surgery that could save millions. And what if that traveler saw what Earth looks like 100 years from now? What if they stood in a future so damaged that you can barely breathe the air or find clean water anywhere? Just imagine, if we had real proof from the future that things get way worse, we might stop wasting water like it's unlimited. We might think twice before setting things on fire or letting factories blow smoke into the air. Maybe vehicles would have turned fully sustainable way before now. Right now, we're just starting to warm up to electric vehicles and talking about sustainability like it's a trendy topic. But if someone came back from the future and told us straight up that we're running out of time, maybe those changes would have happened years ago. Because today, we're just starting to act, thinking, what if water runs out in the future? Or what if pollution becomes uncontrollable? But there's not just a small chance, it's almost certain that these things can actually happen. What I'm saying is, instead of assuming it might happen someday, let's act like it already has. Then ask, what can we do now to undo it before it's too late? Because let's be honest, after every disaster, the first thing we say is, we should have done something earlier. Why wait for regret when we already have the warning signs? And it's not just about air or water. Think about animals, rare species like the northern white rhino. There are barely any left. If time travel showed us they go extinct, maybe we would have cared more, acted faster, and not waited until it was almost too late. Or let's bring it even closer to us. Human life. Do you remember Air India Flight 171? That tragic crash could have been completely avoided if someone knew what was coming. If a time traveler had seen it happen, maybe a simple warning could have saved all those lives. It's heartbreaking to think about, but it shows just how powerful that kind of knowledge could be. We could fix mistakes before they happen, instead of always learning the hard way. Yes, the truth is, time travel could do more than just entertain us. It might actually save us. but it doesn't only have benefits. If this power becomes available to everyone, we might be stepping into the biggest mess in human history. Right now, we follow a simple idea: the past comes first, the present is now, and the future is next. But what if that order suddenly gets flipped around by a million different people changing things for their own benefit? One day, you wake up and Trump is the president. The next day, something's changed in the past and now Kamala Harris is the one in charge. You wouldn't even know what year it feels like. That's how confusing it could get. Every person would start rewriting reality based on what they want. No one's world would stay the same for long. This kind of chaos is called timeline instability, when too many changes in the past keep rewriting the present over and over again. Chaos, wait for the next. Now imagine this. Someone from our time travels back to the 90s with a flash drive full of modern music. They play Believer by Imagine Dragons to a young producer. The guy loves it, records it, and releases it as his own track in 1995. The song becomes a hit, and years later, Imagine Dragons hears it, grows up inspired by it, and then eventually records the same song, which ends up on that flash drive. So, wait, who actually made the song? It's called a bootstrap paradox, when something exists in time but has no real beginning. It just keeps bouncing around in a loop. Totally mind-bending, right? And that's where time travel really starts messing with reality. We'd lose the meaning of time itself. Imagine not knowing what happened first or what caused what. Did something happen because of you, or did you do it because it already happened? Confusing, right? If cause and effect don't make sense anymore, how do we even plan anything? How do we know what our actions will lead to? The whole logic we live by would just fall apart. It would feel like we're all losing our minds. Honestly, without structure, it's chaos. Time travel sounds awesome until everyone starts playing God with the timeline. But can we avoid this mess? Well, maybe. If we want to stop all those confusing contradictions, the key is making sure events don't get stuck in weird loops. You know, like going back in time to give your younger self a book that you only knew about because your older self gave it to you. That kind of thing breaks logic. This is where a theory by Russian physicist Igor Novikov comes in. It's called the Novikov self-consistency principle. It tells that if time travel is real, then anything you do in the past must already fit into the timeline in a way that doesn't cause any paradox. Basically, you can go back, but you can't change anything that would make time fall apart. So yeah, maybe time travel doesn't mean total freedom. It could come with strict rules set by the universe itself. And honestly, that might be the only way to make time travel work without turning everything into a complete disaster. But even after all this possible chaos, can time travel actually become real in 2026? Well, that's where it gets tricky. When you look at all the theories out there, one thing becomes clear: traveling to the future might be somewhat possible. But going to the past, that's where it gets super hard. Very hard. One big takeaway from Einstein's theory of relativity is that time doesn't flow at the same speed everywhere. According to this, if time isn't constant, time travel to the future is actually possible in theory. It's called time dilation. If you travel fast enough, time slows down for you. And when you come back, the world has moved on. And that's just one piece of the puzzle. There are wild ideas involving wormholes, quantum physics, and even bending space itself. Thousands of theories. None of them say it's totally impossible, but none of them confirm it's definitely possible either. So there's still room for new ideas, better science, and maybe, just maybe, a breakthrough that changes everything. So, will time travel be real in 2026? Maybe not fully, but it wouldn't be crazy to expect some insane scientific progress, like a new theory or tech that pushes the boundaries. And if that breakthrough comes, yeah, we're looking at some seriously big days ahead. Yes, because time travel could make us magicians of our lives. It could help us fix the future, stop disasters before they happen, and even bring back knowledge that saves lives. But it could also throw the world into total confusion if it falls into the wrong hands. Time itself could lose meaning, and we might not even know what's real anymore. Still, the idea of time travel makes one thing super clear: the choices we make now really do matter. We don't need a time machine to start changing things today. So, if you could go to the future or the past, what's the first thing you'd do? Drop it in the comments below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more wild what-if journeys like this.